what we do first is we start with these waves. They're going over these waves on the right hand side, and that will show you the ground clearance of the vehicles. I might use a microphone. I think it's a little bit easier to do. Do you understand me? Everybody? Yeah, not too loud? Okay. Yeah, what they're doing now is they go over those waves. The U530 over the lower waves and the UHE, the 5023 over the higher waves. And what you see there is the ground clearance, which is depending on the pressure of the tires, about 35 to 42, 43 centimeters before the concrete waves might touch the chassis of the Unimog or the frame of the Unimog. What you see here is the small distance in between the frame and the concrete. What else is important are the slope angles in this demonstration. They do have 44 degree for the front axle and 51 degree for the rear axle. Next thing you see is going through this little ditch hole filled up with water. This shows you now the capacity of the four-wheel system and the differential locks. And it shows you the 38 degree of tilt angle which I explained to you before. The driver has to be quite careful because normally this water ditch or water hole is filled up with mud, and he has to be really careful that he won't slide to one direction and tips over. What they put in here is the four-wheel system and at least the differential lock at the rear axle. So what you see now is with both vehicles a demonstration of their capacity to go over barriers. Even now we have to differentiate between the U530 and the 5023 because of the better ground clearance of the 5023. What he's doing now is he's only having the four-wheel mode without any locks. Now he put on the first lock, the first differential lock. Going to the next block, now he does have the differential lock on the rear axle, but the front axle still moves only with one tire, and now he's taking the extra differential lock of the front axle and displaying us two things at the same moment: the capability of the truck to go over those barriers and the deformation of the frame. It's a little bit more impressive now with the other Unimog. Same thing, only that he doesn't have any four-wheel drive system in now. He does only have driven or put in the rear axle. So he's stuck now to the barrier. He can't move on anymore. It turns in now the differential, the four-wheel system can't move. The next thing will be the differential lock of the rear axle. he turns in now. So now you can see very nicely the deformation of the frame. The rear axle towards the front axle does have an angle now of about 60 degrees. This is only possible due to coil springs with shock absorbers which are mounted on the axles. This deformation. So if you would like to move over now to our little demonstration hill. One of the easiest parts of the Unimog is to run up to 70%, which is equivalent to 35 degrees. Here it has the low point of gravity. We climb it up easily, you can climb it up with low speed or with high speed. We do it at the moment with high speed, but also it depends on the weather conditions. If it rains, it's slightly difficult to climb up. We can do, mainly we can do the 70%, we can even do the 80%, but it will be quite impossible or quite difficult to do the 60% on the left-hand side. Because we can turn off the physics. So going down, the same gear, maybe the fourth gear is using, and it climbs down very easily. It's not using any brake, it's not using anything else, it's only leaving the vehicle running down.
That's a great.
We're stopping now, getting into reverse, and going up again. By the way, talking about those hills or the conditions, normally on the street use you would fill up the tires with about 5 bar, 4 to 5 bar. We have reduced the air pressure now towards 1.5 bar, which enabled the tires to have a much better friction.
Grab it here, Willie.
And also talking about the transmissions while they're doing their turn towards the next hill. We do have automatic transmissions which are electronically shifted, and both drivers are using the clutches. So you have the choice of using clutches, not using clutches, but mainly the professional drivers rather use the clutch because it just gives a better feeling from driver towards the transmission and the Now he's doing the 80%. What you hear is while they are going up is when the profile of the tire scraps into the stone. You mainly hear it on the upper part of the hill. I must confess, we do have at the moment very good conditions to show you everything because it's dry. If it would rain, we would even reduce the tire pressure a little bit more to have the maximum of friction on the tires themselves. So going down again.
Gosh, I don't think the video conveys the terror of this.
With those angles, there is no difference in between the U530 and the U15 and 23, as you can see. Going up again. One very vital thing while doing that is to put on the safety belt.
Wow.
Even as a passenger, please be so kind and put on the safety belt, because there's a lot of force on your body to push you forward. The maximum a Unimog can do is about 100%, which is equivalent to 45 degree of angle. This is not shown on the hill. This is shown on another area when we do the second part of our demonstration. You see, he can do it very smoothly. He can brake, and what he's now doing is getting into reverse very easily. Very easily. To do that you need a lot of experience, because you need to find the right point to take your foot off the clutch. And this driver, Klaus Beuerle, he's one of the most experienced drivers of our team. He's even participated to the Rally Paris-Dakar a couple of times.
You kind of get that gut, we shouldn't be doing this feeling.
The next thing they will do
No,
is
it's the
60% rise up on the left-hand side. This is comparable with a, let's say, gravel road in the mountain.
Yeah, he's having fun.
And I'm doing it in the third or in the fourth gear. Now four-wheel drive is put in, and at least the differential lock on the rear axle. You see the tractions of the wheels. There's not one wheel which spins around more than the other wheel, thanks to the differential lock.
Keep expecting to hear that roller coaster click, 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 click.
Very easy going.
Yeah, and the sound of people screaming.
You're right.
And that is not even difficult to climb
Could be
up
you.
while it's raining.
It will be.
Same again down. While they are climbing down, I will explain the next station on the next barrier. These are those deformation holes, we call them, with the two trees at the end of the deformation holes to be shown. Here is the deformation of the chassis and frame of the Unimog. The chassis and the frame of the Unimog is a welded and bolted chassis, and due to our coil spring deflection of the mounted suspension, the frame can be deformed like that, and the rear axle towards the front axle can have this angle I explained before of at least 50 to 60 degrees. Even here the U5023, because of its better capability of going cross country and the portal axis of a wider ground clearance, can go through the people holes. And what is really impressive, anytime I see it, is the angling between front and rear axle. And you can imagine the springs, the coil springs, are now forced together and pulled out. So they do have their maximum positions within the holes. I'm getting to explain what the 530 is doing with the 523 now, 5023 now, after he will have gone through the holes. The noise which you hear from time to time, those are the springs when they are released or when they are pulled together. So now is the tilt angle I was explaining. In German it's the Kippwinkel, and they're doing now about 35 to 38 degrees. You can imagine whether when that would be a fire brigade truck used in the forest to do some work with the tank on the load and a high point of gravity. It wouldn't come up with the 38 degrees, then it would be less. And there comes always the question whether there is any device for that in the cabin to let you know the angle when it's become critical. And the professional drivers always say, I don't need it because I know what my truck can do. But it's of course possible to put it in. So next thing will be the rise up on the stairs. I suppose you've never seen a vehicle going upstairs. Now you will see it very easily. Again with four-wheel drive, again with the two axles blocked. Very challenging for the suspension. And to go over this barrier or to climb up a hill like that, it's very useful and important to have the load distributed on both axles almost the same way. But there is as less vibration in the vehicle as possible. Even very challenging for the tires themselves. Now our first driver, Norbert, he continues with this demonstration because the barriers we are going over now, they are mainly built for the Unimog. So for the U50 and 23, and the first very impressive area is now the 110% rising. It's more than normally the Unimog is built for, but we want to show it to our visitors. And here we need the first gear. We need a very high slope angle. You see the rear axle does have about 50 degree. The front axle has about 41 degree of slope angle, and with those weather conditions the Unimog climbs up very easily this little hill, and you could even extend the hill towards a few hundred meters. It wouldn't make any difference for the vehicle. Even here it is very important to to have the weight of the axles distributed. And of course you see this little grid in front or underneath the bumper that protects the cooling system and protects the axle by coming down. Now you see the slope angle again of about 44 degree of the front and 51 degree of the rear axle. So what Klaus is showing next is the sporting ability of our Unimog. The water in here does have a depth of about, as I mentioned before, almost 1 meter. At the moment, 1.2 meters are possible. Very smoothly. And now it's going left. And this is very impressive again, looking at the frame and the position of the Unimog. Look at the tires, look at the springs, how they are deformed. When he's coming back, he might speed up a little bit to show you how the Unimog can drive into the water. If there is some steam coming up, this is steam of the engine, but the engine is protected. We use certain materials for that. Yeah, he's coming with speed, producing his own weight. The steam doesn't do any harm. And when he comes to the end of the ditch, look again at the frame and at the suspension of the truck. Here he shows you again the maximum, and he goes into the limit now. Look at the tires. And this is something really only the Unimog is capable to do. While he's now changing into another position, I would like to ask you to go over to the debris field, please. Is there somebody who this handy belongs to, who this mobile phone belongs to? No, none? So what this debris field should show is a challenging task in the countryside, maybe after an earthquake where you need to reach certain areas. And in the first or second gear, with four-wheel drive again, even not with differential lock, the Unimog can go over almost any stone, any barrier, due to its high ground clearance of about, at the moment I would guess 45 centimeters. And this is also due to our portal axle which lift the ground clearance up a few more centimeters. And if you listen to the tires, you listen to how the profile tries to get grip on the stones. And therefore it's very important to have the pressure decreased towards 1.5 to 2 bars. Coming back. That has to be done very, very smoothly and careful by the driver, not to touch any of those stones. And he might not even touch the accelerator at the moment. He might only have set up the first or second gear and let the Unimog find his way. All that can be done in the automatic mode or in the mode where the clutch is used.
I know.
So less air in the tires.
Yeah, you get better traction.
It's got it. All right, we are now changing over to the main visitors area again, because now Klaus is taking the Setros, the big car in the on the other side of the parking area, and shows you a little bit what the Setros is capable